started. Welcome to the Amigos Co. Happy Monday / Tuesday. Yeah, we're in your face on the streams, on the cyberwebs, the intergoogles, hashtag. Yeah, all about that. Welcome to Mr. Legion. Welcome to Mr. Vandal with an outstanding facial accoutrement going up, all up in that. How are you, fellas?
You're looking all swaggins today.
I'm emo swaggins today, guys. I'm sad.
You're rave swaggins. Those, without lighting, you're definitely rave swaggins.
I was gonna attempt to shave my whole face, and then like try something new. And then when I got to this point, I was like, man, you're ugly enough. So just leave the other stuff. So that's why I'm looking like this today. But I remember I had the hat, so I was like, you know what? Let's go with emo swag. Well, Adam gave me the emo swaggins name.
Hemo swaggins. Yep.
We were talking about shaving our heads before the stream, and you could do that. You could shave your head and just leave a matching beard and soul patch at the back.
And then turn it around?
And turn it around and just sit that way. And yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I think that would be funny.
I don't think we ever know what we're trying to say. It's Amigos Monday. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the chat. I'm going to overtake that and do some shout-outs. How about that? Advocate for Liberty. What's up? Lady Liberty. What's up? Mr. Phil Berkheimer. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Phil Berkheimer. Hello to you. Mr. Vandal. Whatever. Who else do we have here? Amigos Co. Hello to Amigos Co. We also have Erwin. Hello to you. The Great Wombatsky. He says, what's up, tater tots? You're going to eat all your tots. Becky Buck Wild. Hola. Liana from the US. There's a lot of US people here always. It's really
Isn't
good.
Liana just down the road from Vandal?
Yeah, she lives in Vegas.
There you go. Yeah, Vegas. Dan J. Hi to Dan J. Mr. Anthony Romella. Good day to you, sir. Yeah, Eileen Bell. Hello.
Anthony Romella. I feel like we've leveled up. Anthony Romella is in the chat. Our show has leveled up.
Was level.
We've leveled up. We've got some premium viewers. I mean, I know we've had Swaggins. I know we've had Poon Sauce, but fuck those guys. We've got Anthony Romella in the house. I know I sound facetious. I'm actually impressed. I have the greatest respect for the man.
Please correct me. Is it Shake and Bake? Bake and Shake?
Media, yeah.
Shake and Bake Media. If anyone is looking for some action, you probably have seen Mr. Anthony Romella's stuff all over the interwebs. Always gets a laugh. I think he particularly likes putting you in Vandal because it's always the cheeky little Vandal
it's hard
face.
to eliminate me between like every other average-looking, like if you were to compare average-looking vapors, I look like your average vapor now. So I'm a part of the actual fold. I got the glasses. I got some facial hair. I wear hats all the time. Always wear a black shirt.
There you go.
There you go.
And then Legion's over here,
This
like,
look
how you
does
do,
not
fella?
work for me.
Why is your hat so tight? Who was wearing that hat?
Me?
A small child? Why? No, you don't have that small of a head.
It's okay.
I'm
wearing it this way because
it looks redder up here because it's tight.
That it actually says that on the back. But now we'll switch. Because
See, it looks better that way. I don't know.
That's because if I was
It's
to
the
wear
placement. Yeah.
Well, because when you wear it like that, it's like how you do, fellow kids. Like.
Yeah.
But that's the style of wearing a dad hat. When you wear a dad hat, as in the genre of hat construction there, it's slightly back and slightly off kilter. That's the way to wear one.
They call it a dad hat these days. In my days, we just called it a hat.
Well, yeah, it was the 5-panel. Or 6-panel. That's a 6-panel. Yeah, not a 5-panel. Yeah, I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
When I made the original run of hats for my patrons, they're all snapbacks because that's what the kids want. So
Yeah.
I actually did like a whole run and one special, a one of one for myself because fuck the snapbacks. I want to be comfortable.
Snapbacks aren't that comfy, but that's like what every fucking vape hat is.
Yeah.
Shout out to the vape companies. You guys that listen, like I get it. I was a part of like a company. I tried to tell them. No one listened. Snapbacks suck. I hate snapbacks. They're terrible. They leave weird spots on your forehead.
All basically.
Honestly, when I was a kid, this amazed me. When I was a kid, Okay, snapbacks were the generic, cheap, Walmart branded hat. Like you get them everywhere, and especially snapbacks with the mesh back, the ones that melt when your head gets hot. That's the cheapest of the cheap. And then moving up, you had like the little bands with the little clip thing. You have to move it around with the Velcro ones. You have the stretch fit ones. Those were like the higher quality. Snapback was the bottom of the barrel. And yet somehow in the last 10 years,
it's because
what's around?
Ashton Kutcher, and he brought back those Von Dutch hats, and he had the fucking mesh in the background and all that stuff. You can always find a douchey white guy somewhere to blame something on. I'm just saying.
Von Dutch and Affinity both should go away forever. Yeah. Yep. Ever. Anyway, let's. Should we do the Jimmy Buffett's? Just because, got to get it out of the way. Got to get it.
It is the rules.
Yeah. Let's move to Dance Party 5000 in Las Vegas. Mr. Vandal, wow, that looked like it hurt.
That was scary as fuck.
What are you vapping in your face, hole, Vandal?
So today I've got boy. I got some punch, mixing it up. Personally, I think it's like spot on for like Hawaiian Punch fans. It's delicious. Topside duel with the goat, and then I am still using my Narada because I bought more. I can't even think right now. I was gonna say filters, but like we don't use filters in these. I bought more fucking coils for it, and this thing kind of sucks, man. I mean, I keep it at a low wattage. Even I get it. Like I could do a rebuild of MTL, maybe what I need to do. But anyways, yeah, I don't like it. But I'm using it because I have. And then I got Anarchist Pink Salt. That is the iced in there. And it is good in here, and I don't like the salt or the iced on regular open system. But that's what I got.
But you're still vaping it, so it must be working okay. You know?
It works all right in the pod device. I remember I tried. I had Anarchist. Anarchist Pink was what got me on cigarettes. I love it. I worked for Anarchist. I love them to death. Like they're one of the best companies around. So this is just my personal preference. I didn't like the ice in the open system, but I do like it in the pods. In the pods, it's pretty good. It does taste. Well, I like menthol. You know, I was a Newport guy, so the menthol is good. But in the open system, I'm not a fan. But yeah. So I'm still vaping it. It's doing good in this system, but I definitely need to go find a different pod set because this Narada, I don't like it. It's good for like convenience and carry and stuff, but man, I go through the coils like every 2 days, and I'm keeping it at like 13 watts. I go up to like 30, I think, or almost like 25. So I'm keeping it at half, and I'm not even like chugging on it. But anyways, now I'm just rambling. I'm not Steve. Steve, what do you got, man?
Anthony's saying that you're so dark you look like you're just a face and 2 hands floating on the screen.
Truth.
There's some TV show when it was a kid. Well, is this an Australian show?
Molly Grubs.
Pair of lips and some eyes?
Molly Grubs, yep. It's the source of nightmares for kids for decades.
Most children's programming, when you get a decade or so on, you look back at it, it's just terrifying. What the hell were the Teletubbies actually doing?
LSD.
Yeah, actually, I watched a thing where this guy who was an actor, he was the purple Teletubby. It was this black guy, and he was in the UK. And he said that he couldn't go into exact details, but basically they were provided copious amounts of opioids and stuff like that to continue to do the show.
And the weird part is the way it's filmed. It looks like these little tiny creatures. They're all like 5.5, 6 feet tall. I mean, they're huge, but they look tiny. Anyway, on to Buffett time. A lot of the same stuff I've been vaping for the last week or so. I am vaping on the Odin 100. Still got the Barra. That's coming up next for review. Interesting thing, I did the Aussie Vape Show on Sunday. I had the very, very special guest, Mr. Breestones, joined us. So go watch the replay. It's worth it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of time to talk about all sorts of bizarre things, which I won't even get into on the show because he's as white as a sheet. It's very uncomfortable, but it was fun. Won't touch that stuff here. Although that's weird because this would be the appropriate channel for that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did mention that I needed to get onto reviewing this because I've been enjoying it a lot. I've gone through all the coils and I have like 1, maybe 2 left. And as soon as I shut down the show, the Australian distributor for Advocate, who make this, which is Michael Locke from Vapor State, had put through an order for a pair of coils or a couple of packs of coils for me. Just like, I just got the email, like, coils are on their way. It's like, awesome. I should say I'm out of stuff more often. That works. That worked. very grateful to him for that. But yeah, I've been enjoying this a lot. Nice, simple. Don't have to worry about it. Little sub-album dealy. Good flavor. In there, same thing I was vaping on Sunday, which is that Doozy Cream Shake, which is a chocolate milkshake with whipped cream type thing. If you're into chocolate vapes, it's not a bad vape. My wife doesn't like the smell of it, but I've been enjoying it. It's kind of good when I'm annoyed. I just vape it more. The other thing I've been vaping on, I showed you guys on Sunday. This is the Aegis Boost. If I can just grab that correctly. Look at that. 510 connector. Finally, they came out with an accessory for it. And on top, the Zeus Nano, which uses the same coils as the Boost and the little Aegis pod system. And the other thing that I'm going to show you in a second. So it's Zeus style, top airflow, top filling, but slightly more restricted and a slightly smaller capacity. They feel there's a market there. Who am I to doubt them? It's actually quite nice. In that, I have got a little bit of blueberry cake, cover my face, from Glaz, which, weighing that out, yeah, I've gone through about 3/4 of that bottle in the last 3 days.
It's obviously pretty good.
Clearly, I like that one quite a bit. Next up in my line, just out for review today, for my face, get some light on there. It's the world's smallest Aegis. It's a teeny, tiny, tiny little thing. All that classic Aegis look, dust-proof, waterproof, gasket over the USB port, internal battery. It's exactly what you expect from an Aegis, just they shrunk it in the wash. It's not bad. It's not bad. Still using it after the review, so that says good things. Atticus Pink Lemonade, not the iced version, because cooling sucks. Will not touch it, but yeah, this is good stuff. Finally, well, no, not finally. Still using this because I like it. It's pretty, it's shiny, it's got rainbow, which I technically hate, but I don't mind in here. Frank and Atticus, peppermint and white chocolate cookie. This is the bomb. And saving the best for last. I do my buffet, and usually there's like the 6 things I'm actually vaping, and there's the 10 things that are just sitting there. I've given up on them, or forgotten about them, or I'm busy. They're kind of pushed in the corner. This one, unfortunately, went into that pile. Wasn't supposed to. I just kind of got distracted. Pulled it out. Still wicked up. Still juiced. It's been sitting there for like 2 weeks, untouched. Pulled it out, put a new battery in, took a vape, and damn, was the flavor intense. We talk about steeping, but this had actually been heated a little bit and then steeped into the wicks. It just sat there for 2 weeks untouched. And normally that means the wicks go orange and the flavor is kind of musty. No, this was just flavor city. This is the clutch with the Axial Pro, and the very, very last of this Coastal Clouds blueberry limeade that I was vaping. If you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I was going through that quite a bit, mostly on here. And yeah, it just sat, forgotten about, in the bottle and the device. But the amount of flavor from that first resumed vape for this was just, it was like up my nose and in my ears and all the way down my spine. It was just like intense vape. That is literally it. That's my lineup today. Mr. Breezetones. Mr. Cheesy Bones.
Yes.
What are you vaping on?
I'm actually still vaping very similar setups than what was on the Aussie Vape Show on Sunday, which was an awful lot of fun, and you can definitely check that replay because, yes, we did talk about some fairly inappropriate things. Thank you, Steve, for that. But also there was a lot of truth butter going on in that, particularly with the Australian side of things and our absolute dog's breakfast of a vaping situation. So really good if you just put it on in the background and have a bit of a squiz, bit of a listen. Getting back to the setups, I have the Ether on the Swag 2. Everything's going to come out looking over contrast because the sunlight or the outdoor light is coming in through my windows because I've changed position. Ether, Swag 2, that has in there, got no bottles set up. Can't even remember. Yes, it is. It's a custard cookie, Sad Boy. That's what that little 12 milligram action Oh, we just got demonetized. Is that what you're supposed to say when you say the word nicotine in a live stream? I also have another little MTL mouth to face hole version, Odin Mini with K-Fun 2019 Lite. That has deep cuts PB Party because that's my favorite MTL gem. I also have some Australian action, the Blotto from Mr. Sam the Vaping Bogan on the Steve Legion edition Aegis X, hashtag bootleg DHD designs. That has in there actually some Goose Hunt for the collaboration e-liquid to donate for advocacy here in Australia by Frankenatticus, Limitless, and also Aussie e-liquid, which is a caramel sugar cookie. That one is very delicious. I also have something that I don't normally vape, but I have been. This is the Palmatones build station. This is my DNA Odin 250C. This is I use for building coils and checking the batching, but I don't normally vape on it. But I do have the QP Juggernaut V2 with some 2.5s in there and a little Prohibition syntax. That one is vaping very, very tasty. But also a new acquisition this week is the Times Vape. Tenacious TX and Heavy Hitter. That is the heavy. Sorry, what did I don't even know what I just said then. Stan Heavy Metal Vapor Times Vape, the Heavy Hitter. This is done in Misty Midnight by Mr. Palmer's Powders himself, but he also matched a little passage cap there as well in the navy kind of sparkly blue. Yeah, I have in there some Australian e-liquid. The only one that I've got on the table is the Clouded Visions Classic Heifer. This one is a incredibly rich, combining several types of vanilla, dash of caramel, and a little something something. So that's very tasty. I'm just going to throw it all over the desk upside down, Miss Jane. Yeah.
Just so you, I don't know if you realize, that's the same font we use for our Amigo stuff.
Wow, it is too. Look at that. Who's got to pay who to royalties? That's what's going on there.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It does look like a dark liquid in that oil. I think Mr. Romella. No, it just looks like that because it's picking it up. But yeah,
I think it's picking up the tank. Mine is sort of a golden amber.
Yeah.
Not a lot left in this bottle, but yeah, it's a golden amber.
Yeah. Golden.
A nice rich beer tone.
Yeah. Tones of beer and lager. Yeah, lovely. But that's what I'm vapping on. There is other things on my desk, but you don't need to know about that. Yeah.
You did mention, and I'm going to just not be able to see you for a sec. But you did mention the fact that we were talking about some news. Let me just move this across the screen so I can see your face. Yeah, the news, the current fight in Australia, all of that. And I did get some news this morning, and normally I would try and save this, but Friday's a long way away. So I'll mention it here, and I'll probably pick it up again on Friday. This is the Australian Financial Review. So there's a fairly conservative and staid sort of publication. I'm assuming this says columnist, so this is an opinion piece. But Michael Woodridge, a rare winner. That's a lot of tricky words. Michael Woodridge, a rare winner in Greg Hunt's vaping mess. I'm not going to read this whole article, but basically, the National Press Club had a health policy debate last year during the federal election. Greg Hunt was president, and he was asked, when will you authorize vaping products as an alternative to smoking? And this is where the quote that we often go back to, the "not on my watch" statement that he made comes from. He then later acknowledged Michael Woodridge was in the room. I know Michael Woodridge is in the room, and I acknowledge him and all the health ministers who have been part of this. Michael Woodridge is big pharma. He is controversial. He's been barred from being CEO from some companies legally, not by the companies, but by the state, because of his actions and stuff. He's a very underhanded sort of man. But let's see, where was it there? It said, talks about vaping and the current situation, etc. talks about Greg Hunt's stand against, and then it kind of this is the thing that annoys me. This is what we were talking about on Saturday or Sunday, and what we talked about on my Friday show, is this idea that Greg Hunt has flip-flopped. The idea that because the TGA is allowing prescriptions, it means that Greg Hunt has changed his mind on things. And I want everyone to be very clear in their minds that that's not the case. The TGA has made a statement saying that they will allow prescriptions. Greg Hunt is the health minister. He is nominally in charge of the TGA, but those two opinions do not necessarily coincide. He is still pursuing his ban for imports, and he is still against the idea of free access. He's not pro-vaping. He hasn't softened on it. That's an aside note. This is an interesting article to read. It has a lot of stuff about various businesses like pharmacy and small retail businesses not being in favor of the changes that are being made. But there was one thing here that really stood out. If I'm trying,
at the end of the article.
The Australian Pharmaceutical Industries, which runs 1,500 stores, chemists and pharmacists across Australia. Woodridge served as the non-executive director between 2006 and 2014. He has a lobbying firm, which is their registered lobbyist, so they fight on behalf of pharma and pharmacy. And it's where was it? I'm trying to find this bit. I should have highlighted it. Another Woodridge client, Aspen Medical, has been awarded contracts by Hunt's department worth $1.2 billion since March. So the basic overall gist of this is that Mr. Greg Hunt, who is the health minister for the country, who is against vaping, wants to ban nicotine imports, is directing the TGA to restrict and control this as much as possible and pretty much hand vaping over to them. He's very, very tight with the industry, the pharma industry. It's not, it's a question of conflict of interest. He's should be an impartial, unbiased, for the people, genuine health concerns oriented, science oriented person. That's the position he's in. And yet, quite clearly, I mean, he goes to a press conference and gives a shout out to the guy in the back row who happens to be, one of the largest movers and shakers of pharma in this country. That kind of reveals his motivations there. $1.2 billion contracts awarded to just one of his clients. He has more going on. I mean,
also that last part, Steve, sorry, I don't mean but the last part, sorry, I just want to go to the wording. God, there's so many ads on. Woodridge sat on the Aspen Medical's board until October, when his overturned ban from serving as a company director was reinstated by the full bench of the federal court. So he was reinstated to that position. That's messed up.
The question is, who was in the power of the party that were in your guys' politics? I don't know exactly how everything works, but obviously it seems like there was someone looking out for him to put him eventually into a position like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's cronyism.
Jobs for mates. Hashtag jobs for mates. I put that in there. I'm sure everybody saw it, but I did put the link to that article in the chat. It's definitely something to be sharing around if for those consumer advocates out there. Messy. But also, just on that same vein of sharing stuff, I wanted to quickly tangent to You Don't Know Nicotine. I believe that, and I'm hoping I'm not saying this in public when I shouldn't be, but Mr. Biebert shared the second promo for that film this morning or a few hours ago, and we need to share that out as much as possible because, of course, the biggest situation there is that those people who are not in our little bubble, non-vapors, all of that sort of thing, need to see that as well. So it's an exciting preview, I guess you call it, trailer number 2, giving up some more little tidbits of magical footage that they shot. Very, very exciting. Yeah. but please share it around.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. It all depends on how much airplay it gets, where it gets shown. I have no idea what the ongoing schedule for the rest of the year is, but I'm desperately hoping that somewhere near me is going to play it.
Mm-hmm. I know we talked about this on Sunday, Steve, but we'll just repeat this for maybe people that weren't watching the Aussie Vape Show. There's no doubt a schedule of events that Mr. Biebert is trying to follow to obviously get this film onto the largest platforms possible. Obviously, the streaming services, things like your Netflix and whatnot, that will be an ideal situation. But obviously, access to us where we need to see it in our bubble, the vaping is not going to happen very soon because of that reason. Because the moment you put it out anywhere, or Blu-rays, or that whole situation, Aaron did a live on the private Facebook group for his backers explaining a fair bit of that, and I know that's not for the general public, but there's a lot of people asking the questions when it's going to be available online to purchase and all that sort of thing. I think the real answer there is not for a little while, because they must follow the stipulation of what those streaming services require, because the moment it gets public, then the contracts are not there. So it's going to take a little while, but obviously trailers and any other information that comes out must be shared, because we must engage those who are not in our vaping bubble. The other thing that he was saying in that live, and I don't know if we touched on that, is that there were quite a few people, either legislators or in the politic world, who were actually at Milwaukee, because they were also very interested, because I'm sure there's a lot that sit on the fence of being jobs for mates, hashtag jobs for mates in the government, in our respective governments in different parts of the world. But there's probably a lot like there is here in Australia who are sitting on the fence and don't quite know what to understand, because they've got medical professionals that are misinformed, spouting one thing, and then you've got the ants spouting another thing, and they just want to make their minds up for themselves. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest, provided that those things, the ducks happen in a row with this film. And there's no doubt that, as we've seen with, is it called The Social Dilemma, and, films of that ilk, mass perception can be changed very, 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 very quickly. So,
I don't remember his name. There's a doctor in Australia who's head of the AMA or something. He's high up. He's been quoted as saying that with the upcoming changes, he will not be prescribing nicotine, because vaping may help a little bit for smokers, but it could lead to addiction amongst kids. Which, first of all,
you describe pain pills?
Well, you really haven't thought through your profession. You're not going to prescribe nicotine that would then have to be filled at a pharmacy for adults, because it might lead to kids being addicted. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Straw
clutcher.
I'm not going to prescribe something that will help people who need it, because some kid may find it in their drawer and use it. That's ridiculous.
I could
the
repair
second
this
part
guy's
is,
broken leg, and he could drive a car and kill somebody.
we have a doctor here who is supposed to be knowledgeable, supposed to be learned, supposed to have looked at the fact and used scientific reasoning. And they're not only just a GP, country GP, small town GP, they're a representative speaker. They should speak with knowledge and authority. They should have, if not not have done the research themselves, but have had a team, at least one PA, collate the information and present it in a digestible format so they can move forward. But they're literally speaking out of his ass. It's regurgitating headlines and fear-mongering, which is unconscionable. You're a representative of an industry. This is highly relevant to your industry. You should speak with knowledge and authority, not, like I said, regurgitated fear-mongering.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I bring this up is that hopefully things like You Don't Know Nicotine will help educate not just the people and the ministers, etc., but the medical community, those that are maybe a little bit more open-minded, maybe don't have contracts with big pharma, etc. maybe a little bit more swayed to go, okay, yeah, this is valid. To be able to see the actual beneficial side of this, and put aside some of the fear mongering and that sort of thing.
Well,
The other part that I really want to see this movie do well is, I've said since this very began, hearts and minds, public propaganda. We know Greg Hunt. Doesn't really matter what he believes. Doesn't matter where he falls in his personal private beliefs about this situation or the validity of vaping or quitting smoking. He's got other vested interests that are pushing him the other way. It doesn't matter what information we give him now. You could give him 100% proof. If he could keep it quiet, he would. It doesn't matter. We need to get it into the public's heart and mind, the public's eyes, so that there's that critical mass that holds him accountable. We need, I've said it before, Karens, grandmothers, aunties, uncles, non-smokers, all those really annoying kids that pretend to cough when you're walking by smoking. We need to get all of them realizing and accepting that this is valid, this helps, this is better. Because when that mass, the public, believe that, then the politicians, they don't really have much room to move.
Well, considering also, I would say this happens in many countries, but politicians that leave their legacy with a stain of something that they did. I mean, that's what they're going to be remembered for. You know, I'm sure Hunt has done good things in other parts of the health portfolio, but in the same vein, this is going to be his legacy. He is going to be remembered as a harm reduction blocker, and that's it. You know.
Mowgli Vapes is saying, what number cause of death of kids is vaping nicotine in Australia? Like, how many kids have died? Oh yeah, it needed to happen at least once before it can even be a contender. We have had one death, one verified poisoning in a child.
Victoria, yeah, that was.
And it was.
Wasn't it contact? Like they got in contact with it?
No, child drank it. Yeah.
Drank a bottle of e-liquid, which is, if you're going to say one child died because they drank something they shouldn't have, should we not be outlawing bleach, exit mold? Should medicines themselves, like just general medicines, be even tightly restricted? This is carelessness. I have massive sympathy. You try to quit smoking and you end up killing your kid. It's got to be really, really hard to deal with. Much empathy for the parents in this situation, but dude, don't leave your e-liquid sitting where your toddler can get their hands on it. I have it all around the shelves. I have teenagers, but if I had little kids, man, lockbox in the cupboard. Even my full strength mixing liquids, they're in the freezer and they're in a locked container. You can't get it without knowing the password. So,
yeah, like
caution and care with all things.
I was wanted to. So Mowgli is asked, like liquid or DIY nicotine, and I'm just looking at a news story now, and it doesn't actually state. I mean, surely you would think that a child, drinking a 3 milligram is not going to, do the worst. But in the same vein, it's kind of quite common to have 100 milligram nicotine here in Australia because of the fact, obviously, we have to add it. But yeah.
Which is why, aside from the prescription thing, I've always advocated for a regulation that's much closer to the UK or the free market that the US used to enjoy than what we had, because the prescription thing meant we needed to bring it in, and it's cheaper and easier to bring in 100 milligram than that many bottles of 3 milligram. It's more viable for the domestic industry to produce 0 and have you add 100 milligram. All of this is the situation forces that upon us, but it was never a good idea for me or you or any vapor who's not a serious DIY interested person to be dealing with that level of liquid. The average person, I mean, I've got a guy on my channel right now, he's been commenting a lot over the last weeks. He's very new, he's just dived in. He doesn't get the difference between salts and regular e-liquid, and he's just curious, he's just starting. I don't think he's an idiot? Not at all. And I don't think he's incautious. But he shouldn't have to deal with this. He should be able to just go buy a bottle and use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it should work.
Yeah.
It's the safest. And like you said, if a toddler chugs down a little bit of 3 milligrams, should not happen, might not be the worst. If a toddler gets their hands on your mixing supplies while you're, just got a new order in, I'm adding my 3 milligrams from my 100, gotta pee, gotta answer the phone, the oven dinged, whatever, turn your back for a second, boom, dead kid. Literally, like 100 milligram, gone, game over. It shouldn't have been, and this is the thing, Greg Hunt had used that, he used that specific event in writing to justify a ban, to justify increasing the regulations that were actually the cause of the problem.
I'm pretty sure they also conflated that information when they said that calls to poison centers had doubled, and it was that there was 2 calls. It was 1, and then there was a second call, and that effectively was cherry-picked as doubled.
Those calls were, I've been mixing up my nicotine, and I got some on my finger. Should I go to the hospital?
Yeah.
No. Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes. But I think this is vitally important. They're using an event to justify something, and the thing they're trying to justify is what caused the event. We've got circular logic here. If those parents could have gone down to the store and just bought some regular e-liquid, this event probably would never have happened.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be mixing. They wouldn't have 100 milligrams in the house. They would have their bottles of e-liquid and probably would have just kept them up on the shelf. They probably were thinking most of the time that they were like most parents. Keep the bleach cupboard locked, keep the cleaning supplies on the top shelf, put the e-liquid on the top shelf, just keep one handy. But they were in process of mixing and doing stuff, and their attention got pulled away just long enough for the worst to happen. It's a common story, not just in vaping, but in all sorts of things.
Anything, alcohol prohibition. When these politicians, they say they're out here looking for someone's safety, but then they take away your avenue to pursue these things legally and legitimately. They create this whole process of people either like trying to blow themselves up, creating alcohol stills, or this guy's kid getting a hold of this bottle because he had to go and find a way to make it on his own. And they're not actually taking that into an account. And the reason why I say like they're so full of shit when they say they're actually trying to help you is because they're actually taking away avenues of approach that you could do it safely, more or less for their financial interest into what's being paid into it. They're not looking out for you at all. None of these people are. None of these politicians are. To a degree, yes. Some of it's check a box, and some of these people do believe in it. As far as I've seen, anyone that proposes these kind of legislations and does stuff like this, they actually don't care about you. And you guys need to keep this in mind if you live in a place where you can vote for these people, because you're literally paying for their livelihoods while they're taking away yours.
Yeah, indeed. I have a really dumb question, and I only just thought about this, and I'm not sure if this has been addressed, even though we are, talking about stuff we've talked about a lot. Nicotine patches, and there was a comment in chat about that. If nicotine's a situation of, attracting the youth and all that sort of thing, why is nicotine patches not considered part of that problem? Is it because of strength?
Because they're not enjoyable.
Okay.
Well, he's right. It's not a sin. It's not a vice. It's not enjoyable. It's not made to be enjoyable. Therefore, they really don't care. The other is that, when you go into Kohl's and you see that section and it's all those different brand names and flavors for sprays and mists, there's 2 companies behind that
have been approved.
Companies.
Yeah,
but the point is all that money goes back to Big Pharma, and it's 2 completely separate companies that own 18 brands here and 22 brands there. They're all the same people. Switching from Nicorette to Nick Mist or whatever brand it is, the money's going to the same people. They're happy with that. And the other thing is that it's grandfathered in. It's been allowed in prior to our system disrupting methods, our system disrupting ways, and there's so much money tied with that they're just kind of letting it go.
And then when you think
we
about
get the same comments. Why are they going to ban flavors in San Francisco, but they don't ban cigarettes? Like, that doesn't make sense. One's to help you quit, and the other's just a device. Well, why don't you just ban it all? Well, because cigarettes have money behind them. Cigarettes are a big money maker for both the state and the companies, and they're also kind of the status quo. You don't fuck with the status quo. We're disruptive. You can get away with fucking with the little guys because they're new, but you don't fuck away with the system. You know, it's been there that long, and the quit aids that we're talking about, they've been here for so long. I mean, the laws that we're looking at here, prescriptions, pharmacy access only, only approved products. You would think that the same thing would apply to all of these things, and it should. And it used to. That's the thing. In Australia, it used to. It used to be prescription only. It used to be pharmacy only. And it used to be that gums and patches were only the ones that went through the TGA approved process. But, I mean, we're talking about 15, 20 years ago. They removed those restrictions. They descheduled them. That's when they moved from being pharmacy only to being on the bottom shelf of the medicine aisle in the grocery store.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys over there in Australia, but here in the States, obviously, with like prescription companies or pharmaceutical companies, they have their ads, right, on the commercials and stuff like that. And if you're gonna, this is one thing I want to throw out there, just as kind of a joke, but if you're gonna, don't. The reason why I say you got to question these kinds of companies and these people and their intent is because the nicest ad that you see, the nicer the ad, the happier the people are in these pharmaceutical ads. And if you listen, have the worst amount of side effects that you've ever fucking heard of. And so you'll see this couple riding a bike having a picnic, and the next thing you know is talking about explosive diarrhea and anal leakage. But they're throwing you off with the images. So these people are purposely trying to perpetrate this image of stuff. And that's why I think stuff like patches and stuff, they get by with the leeway, is because when they came out in late 80s, 90s, stuff like that, when you saw them, it was always like a guy woke up in the morning with his wife and he put it on, and he goes to work, hardworking man, you know, or something like that. Or Jessica, the hardworking housewife and stuff like that. The perception's already out there of those. And also, just personally, just from my experience, obviously I don't have stats or anything in front of me, so call me out if I'm wrong. The patches don't fucking work. So no one cares about it. No one gives a crap. It's just a cash grab. And then like Steve said, it all goes back to the same companies as like tobacco companies and pharmaceutical companies, which already have their hands so deep into our economy that if we were to even get rid of cigarettes, like tomorrow, our company would be in such a deficit, our government would be such a deficit of debt that we would just go under belly up completely. So it's not, the fight's not going to go away for a long time. And these companies are going to be here and they're instituted here. But make sure you keep an eye on how shitty that these companies are by the way that they advertise, and then also the politicians who support them. We have an election coming up, and it's hard to pick, especially like if you're on one side of the fence or the other, especially when it comes to vaping needs and then the actual moral needs of some candidates, stuff like that. So it's going to be a long ride.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long ride for a while. And I know that's kind of like the first out rant, sorry.
No, that's the purpose. Discussion, communication, information. Also, just on the discussion of the fight, you may all notice that I've got a couple of websites put on the window there. One is the ATHRA Fund, which is obviously Australia-based. ATHRA is fighting for our right for vaping, and they need as much money as possible to get the situation going on. So athrafund.com.au. This morning I had a bit of a look. It was the first time I'd looked in a few days, and the total's getting up there, but we need every single dollar. So if you have something to spare, please donate to that. And also you can win chance. Bogan has a competition going on. I guess a waffle. I shouldn't be saying that out loud, but effectively also some pretty crazy prices that is linked to, thank you Mr. Vandal, linked to the donations, and he's got some crazy Bogan products that will be linked to the donations being given to ATHRA, which will win you position to get in that. The other one there is legalizevaping.com.au, which is obviously another one of our advocacy groups. There will be some information coming out soon, I believe, as far as the TGA comes out and the submission for their... So many legal terms, my little brain can't keep up, but there is time for submissions for the provision for vaping and nicotine. We have a bit of a time limit, and I believe they are getting together some situation to make that submission of opinion much easier. So legalizevaping.com.au will be coming out very, very soon. Please keep your eye on that. And yeah, otherwise it's just a steaming pile of Greg Hunt inspired vaping mess in this country. Oh dear. Yep. I also like the taste of truth butter, Mr. Anthony Ramella. It tastes amazing. Yeah. Cheers.
So on a more positive note, spinning things around, are you ready? And I'm just triggered by that cup. Are you ready to announce a winner?
Oh,
Completely forget about that.
No, I did forget about that. I guess we could effectively.
We're so professional.
We could do that. Let me find the exact post, though. I'll have to go back through here.
Remember, I said you have to read out the top 3 winners in reverse order.
Okay, well, there was...
Well, we gotta explain it for the people, because there's some people that I see here that haven't been here. So Adam made this bitchin' mug, this Breeze Tones Toot Science mug, and then I missed the show, and he said you guys gotta come up with a story about why I missed that show, and then you're gonna win the mug. And as Steve said, he's gonna read off the top 3, and then whoever he picks as the best winner, he's gonna send that mug out to. So shout out to Adam, because that mug's pretty cool.
Yes, I need to find... Well, I don't have 3, because there wasn't actually that many entries.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I would have entered if I'd known.
Under a pseudonym.
Under pseudonym.
Steve's names.
Yeah. I'm not going to be...
Vegan Lapes.
I'm not going to be able to find the second place winner. Bugger. God, Instagram makes it...
I'm surprised we actually had, like, here's the thing. I know we got a great group of people that watch our shows and stuff like this and that put in effort. But I'll be honest, like, I watch a show and some people like, make sure, like, you send us an email or something to win something really cool. If it's really cool, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm so fucking lazy, I won't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. Bugger! Oh, well. But I do know the winner. So should I just read the winner? Is that what we're going to do?
Oh, you let me down, but okay.
Oh, wow. All right. And I wish we could have him on here to announce this story in the voice that only this man can do. But the drum roll, please. The winner of the mug is Sean, the angry hippie. Typhon, he came up with this one, and this was literally came in after I said that on the very first show when you weren't here. I literally got this 2 minutes after the stream ended. Like he smashed it. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It was 3:34 a.m. Washington D.C. Vandal had been prepared to rally with the vapors for the PMTA reform, but in true fashion, here he was, drunk. You see, Chris had found his way into a bottle of bourbon. Yes, the Kentucky Brown had warmed his soul something fierce, the likes of which would make even the drunkest Southern sheriff blush. Stumbling the streets of the nation's capital, he somehow managed to take a bath in the reflecting pool. Feeling refreshed, this seemed like the perfect time to find a place to empty his bladder. Stumbling through the pool with his pants around his ankles, he began to release the floodwaters. A great sense of freedom washed over him. By this time, the sun was beginning to crest over the Lincoln Memorial, and being completely out of his mind, he climbed into Lincoln's lap, naked, and fell asleep. A few hours later, a passing group of nuns discovered Chris naked, covered in his own vomit, asleep, and Lincoln's lap, and called the police, having Vandal arrested. Being that no one remembers phone numbers, Chris is still trying to figure out that one person he's going to call from jail, and that's why Vandal missed the show.
Sounds legit.
Yep.
Sounds oddly familiar.
So, yep. So he then sent me a message a couple of days later. He goes, "You can just send me the cup because I think I'm going to win." I was like, "Wait on, man, wait on." But that was outstanding.
At least I didn't fall asleep on the Washington Memorial. That might hurt.
Yeah.
That was simply divine.
It was crazy.
I have to have him read it.
Yeah. Mowgli, was it actually you that sent me the other one as well? Because yours was outstanding if it was you. Mowgli sent me one, I believe. I could be wrong. Please tell me in chat. I couldn't find it. But it was very, very good. There was a second one that was extremely, extremely good. Yeah. So, yeah.
Congratulations to Mr. Typhon, who's not here in the chat. I'm a little disappointed. But, yeah. that will be winging its way from South Adelaide, South Australia. I don't know why I said South Adelaide, all the way to the United States of Americas, where Sean will be happily using it, hopefully, while he's doing his podcast.
Actually, maybe it was Mr. Sard. Was it Stephen? Someone.
So when you send that out to him with the cup, you gotta package it up in like a bag and then blow it full of vape cloud and then seal it. And then so when he opens it, it's like, and like find out what the flavor he like he likes the most or hates the most, and like choose.
Yeah. But there's going to be a fight in that household because both him and Lizzie, his wife, are serious coffee drinkers, and they already started arguing over who was going to get to use the chalice, the Toot Science chalice.
The chalice.
So
The chalice.
while you were doing all this, I noticed amongst your various inks, on the inside of your arm, it looks like it says AAA.
Oh, it does. Yes.
That is correct. And so, as you were reading, I quickly looked up what does AAA mean.
Oh, here we go.
And it says blockbuster game.
That is 100% correct. Yep.
American Automobile Association.
Yep.
It's the size of a battery.
He's waiting 3 more years to get the RP at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I got. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, abdominal aortic aneurysms.
That's exactly why I had it tattooed on. It's just like for
He was a Fonzie impersonator before he got into coffee. Had him with the leather jacket. He was like, "Hey," with the Australian accent. He's like, "Hey."
Yeah, I'm about as tall as Henry Winkler as well, so that works out fine. Yeah.
What is it called? Playing in the background.
No, sir.
Sorry, happy day song.
Yes. I wanted to go back to something also in the chat. Was it Dan J had put up there, and there is another media piece that's coming out. Is that from Pippa? Is that who is doing? What? Please explain that to me.
Pippa is Pippa Lives or DIY Down Under. I'm not sure if she's still doing DIY Down Under. She's been around for a while. Advocate, activist, personality. And last I heard, she was putting together a documentary of her own.
Right.
Similar concept to what mine was, but a sort of different path to it. And interviewing vapors and their experiences. That's literally all I know.
Right. Okay. Because someone was talking about that. I don't know if it came up on one of the streams that we were doing. Somebody asked that about that, and it was something coming out of Australia, and I was like, I have zero idea. But I guess the more the better, right?
Addy Tooney is in the house, and Addy Tooney just dropped a link to Pippa's channel, so
Oh, there you go.
you'll probably be able to get a lot more information from there.
Thank you, Uncle Addy. Yeah,
Hardest working man in the vape industry, I tell you.
that's the golden wrench.
He's like in every single stream.
They send out
And if you see Addy in your stream, give him a wrench. He deserves it. In fact, YouTube by now should just automatically wrench him no matter where he goes.
Yep, a wrench and a hug.
You get like a plaque when you get 1 million views on YouTube. Addy's got 12 of them with 1 million comments for advocacy.
That's it.
I'd love to see that, like a golden wrench with the YouTube logo embossed in the middle on a plaque on his back wall. He deserves that. He absolutely deserves that.
Yep, indeed. Awesome. Well, we've smashed the advocacy. We've discussed a little bit of going-ons. What else, folks? What else? I'll just check my notepad of what else I had written for. That was just.
There's a guy I watch. He does camera stuff, camera YouTuber, right? And he started doing this thing just before COVID, which killed it off. But he would go to other YouTubers in the camera sphere, go to their studio, and he would. It was under the guise of doing a test, but the idea was to show different people's workspaces and how it works, how it's aimed for work and creativity and all that sort of stuff. So you go to these camera people's studios, and he'd have a little clipboard when he got to the door, and he'd be like taking notes, writing stuff down, and then at the end he'd hand it to them, and it would always be like a Chinese menu with nothing on it, or his latest medical results, or just a bus timetable. It's just like okay, and those lights up there, they're LED, so daylight balanced. Okay, that doesn't really work with the window. Okay, so and then hand them the thing. Well, here's your results. Thank you for showing me around. It was actually quite entertaining as a camera head. It was kind of funny. Yeah. Unfortunately, COVID pretty much killed off his plan. It's kind of sad. He got like 6 done, and then
yeah.
No pads like that are where you carry around at a job where you want to look busy and you don't want anyone asking you questions. That's what I used to do all the time. Walk around with a notepad, nothing on it.
Back in the day, I used to read a magazine called 2600, which was a hacker's magazine. And it's just because I was pretentious and wanted to be a hacker because I saw The Matrix once and was never really that good at it. But a lot of the articles in there about technical programming and stuff, but in between them, there was always these articles that would actually get down to what hacking really is. And it was never knowing the most about backdoors in operating systems. It was always about social engineering. If you can get, wiring into a mainframe and, brute forcing the password is far less efficient than getting someone to let you in and actually just tell you the password. And that's where all the things was. And yeah, one of the big rules, you want to go into a place like a warehouse or a factory or a business, just carry a fucking clipboard. Just carry a clipboard, have a pen in your hand, and walk around.
Yeah.
No one will question you.
Even a laminated something on a lanyard that's turned upside down. Absolutely. Yeah.
If you dress like you look you belong and you've got that clipboard, then don't talk to. He'll give you work to do. You stay away from him.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time in the military. So we have our little patrol caps where you can fold the front of them over. And people would do that so I'd hide my rank. And then I always had my weapon on a strap, but it'd be on my back. So I'd have the strap across the chest right here so you couldn't see my rank. And I'd walk around and I always looked kind of like I was like a lieutenant or something, And I'd always have a fun clipboard. And everyone would be out there like filling sandbags, like fucking shit up. I just grab the clipboard and I just walk by like looking at stuff. Like, how's it going, sir? And they think I'm a lieutenant. I'm like, carry on, it's fine. It's fine. Then go sit in a porta potty for 3 hours. It works.
Oh dear. Nice.
Everyone needs a clipboard.
Yeah. Particularly that because I'm ready at all stages. I'm ready to go. Got pen, got clipboard. I'm ready.
All you're missing is the plan.
It's fail to plan to fail. Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
My plan for today is to go pee after the stream because that's imminent.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mailing to do.
Whoa. Patreon stuff?
Hats. I have been
Nice.
so slack. I should have had them mailed off Friday. Should have had them mailed off on Monday. Things got in the way. Getting them mailed off today. And then, maybe start filming some stuff. That's my plans. Chris?
Only thing I got coming up is this Fall will be back this week. We do have Anthony Romella on, actually. Very thankful for that.
Nice.
So it's a total slapstick shit show of just fucking making jokes and everything, going back and forth. Other than that, my refrigerator tube exploded last week and I got my house flooded, and that's all I got.
Dude, what is up with your star sign? You fell over, you broke your toe, you scraped your body up and down, your refrigerator's exploded, your
The bathroom shower
plumbing's exploded, your landlord's a dick.
Well, the landlord's not a dick, it's the company. Long story short, I thought I moved into this house with a big pool in the yard thinking, you know what? It's a good spot. You got somewhere where you could do some good stuff. And life was like, bitch! It was like, what the 4 fingers say to the face? Slap! No. But yeah. No, this house is bad luck. I come to terms with that. I busted my arms, my legs, fell, fucking the shower. There's a hole in the other room. You guys can't see it. It's so dark in here because the bedroom, I had to move my bed into here. and that's why it's all dark. Because now my mattress is in my office because I was sleeping on.
Oh, you've turned down the lights to hide the wank stains.
That's why the black lights aren't on. Oh, no, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. But yeah.
Whoa! Addy Chuni. Sorry, Addy Chuni in chat just said Mr. Mendelsohn is on Grim tomorrow. Amazing. Nice. Very nice.
Well, I guess I won't be filming tomorrow because
participating in that. Very nice.
That is the biggest wrench in my workflow. I have a day when I don't have streams and I go, okay, I just want to do relax and stuff. Okay, I'll do my stream and then I'll record. Oh, wait a minute, Green's on. Okay. So I didn't get anything done today. Tomorrow, I'm tired. I'll do this. Tomorrow, and I stream. It's like, oh, crap, the Omis are on. And then it's Stan. And it just, if I'm not commenting, I'm often there in the stream. It's because I'm over here filming stuff and watching.
Addy, can I ask where is that advertised? Is that or is that where will we find that?
I think it was put in the Discord.
Right.
I think. I don't know. I haven't been in the Discord for a while. I got really into social for a long time. So.
Yeah.
That's why something like that.
Nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, amazing. Awesome. Colin's at the forefront right now, so he is the person to have on the stream. Very, very good man. Amazing human.
And it's going to be great, too, because Grim's audience is so massive with the fact of, like, the people that watch him. Bringing someone from Australia in over there is going to bring a lot of light to your guys' fight. So it's definitely going to be good all the way around.
Yeah. Awesome.
You know what would be awesome? If the stream started and then Colin looked at Grim and said, Legion sent me. That's not going to happen. That's just my ego going way beyond positive. But that would be hilarious.
Awesome. Well, we are at the end. There's no real updates from me. I don't have anything going on, but we want to thank everyone so much for hanging out with us and devoting your time. We realize time is precious these days, and we very much thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you next week, as of course. There's a lot of stuff going on this week, as always. The TGA, you don't know nicotine, the fight in everywhere, and stay strong, do what you can. We need every single person, everybody on deck at this particular point in our vaping journey. So, yeah. Awesome. Any final words, fellas?
Don't eat yellow snow.
Indeed. Yeah. Nice penmanship. Awesome. All right. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And, of course, we will see you here next week. Stay strong.